All right, good morning. Welcome to Steel City Renegades. I am your host today, Dees, and joining me we have Chipper from a parts unknown this morning,
Morning, guys.
and of course
Morning.
our Kansas City buddy Ryan Neff. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, here we are. Unfortunately, week 18, season finale. We've already got a couple games in the book, which we'll touch on here in a little bit. But tonight is the big one. And I'm sure it comes as no surprise to anybody that it was, of course, flexed to the Sunday night game. Steelers hosting the Baltimore Ravens for all the marbles. First time, which is I found kind of a surprise. Uh, First time in the series history that their finale decides everything. It's win or go home. Or division championship playoff game at home, and the other team starts their golf schedule for the year.
And that's an interesting stat. I didn't know that either. Then again, usually since they've extended the schedule by a week or two now, that usually the division or whatever has been settled by week 15, 14, whatever, when they're doing a 16-week game schedules and then week 17, 17 game schedule. It's been settled by week 15 or 16. So that's interesting that tonight is winner take all for the division and win or go home.
Yeah, we've definitely had some games where it was a win and you're in the playoffs kind of scenario, but never one where it was just literally, here it is, all the marbles on the table, go get it. And of course, we all know that the Steelers are coming in shorthanded still because of the DK Metcalf incident. And I feel like that is going to play a large role. We know Pittsburgh beat Baltimore 4 weeks ago, I believe it was, in Baltimore.
Yeah.
hmm
20, was it 27-22, I believe. Uh, Outrushed in that game by 175 yards. And let's see, who's that? I'm feeding through somebody. Anyway, the Steelers have won 3 games in their history where they were outrushed by 175 yards. All 3 of those games were against the Baltimore Ravens, which I think is fascinating.
Well, I'm going to throw out another interesting stat to you guys that I literally just saw before I got on here this morning. I don't remember if it said it was just against the Steelers, but in 2 games that Derrick Henry has played on his birthday, I'm going to assume it is just against the Steelers. But in 2 games that he's played against the Steelers on his birthday, which today happens to be, he's run for over 150 yards each game.
Well,
Just throwing that out there.
he's over the course of the last 4 weeks, his yardage output has increased every game. I don't know that I want to see it increased from the last game. What was it, 215? Although we know what he did to us in the playoffs last year. I would like to think that it's not going to be that bad. I think with the addition of Derek Harmon, we've seen what he can do when he's in there and he's healthy. I think that we can sort of contain the run game. I'm not going to say we're going to shut them down like the way we did Detroit, although it's not impossible.
Mm-mm.
But the big difference between Baltimore and Detroit is with Detroit, you don't have to worry about the quarterback.
hmm
And that's what makes this Ravens team so difficult to defend is you can focus on Derrick Henry all you want, but if you do that, Lamar's going to kill you either with his legs or his arm. Whereas with a team like Detroit, if it's a pass, it's a pass. You don't have to worry about Jared Goff taking off.
Right.
Whereas with Lamar or even Snoop Huntley, if it does come to that, which all signs point that it's going to be Lamar. But
Well, yeah, you bring up an interesting point about the Lamar thing, though. By some chance, the defense is able to perform the way they did against Detroit. Um, you know, maintaining Derrick Henry. Baltimore's pass offense isn't necessarily as potent as Detroit, so you really don't have to worry about anybody on the except for Mark Andrews. And now Rashad Bateman is out,
mm-hmm.
so you got Mark Andrews and then Z-
Zay
uh,
Flowers.
thank you, Zay Flowers, and that's kind of it. And they've
Isaiah
said,
Likely, but he's been,
Yeah.
hit or miss.
Mhm.
and they've said over the last few weeks, for some reason, Lamar Jackson doesn't run as much. I don't know if he's still worried about the hamstring or what, but then again, he's taking it easy the last few weeks. So who knows? Maybe week 18, he's 100% full go and he won't care because it's win or go home. So he won't care.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of the hamstring I think he's been dealing with basically all year. And then on top of that, I mean, if his back was in so much excruciating pain that he couldn't play last week in a game that basically was do or die, I can't for the life of me believe that he's coming into this game 100%.
Mhm.
So I think that they need to get after him, hit him. I don't want to sound dirty, but hey, if you're a step late,
Yeah.
don't pull up. Just
And if he happens to be on the ground, little knee to the back may not be a bad thing.
although you know what? I mean, to be fair, if we go back and we look at what Lamar has done against the Steelers in his career, it's not good.
Mm-mm.
I think his record as a starter now is what, like 2-6 or 2-5, something like that. It's like he's not historically having his better games against Pittsburgh. So, but
I'll
again,
just say this. You know what's coming tonight? They're not going to have Lamar do too much, especially with that hammy. You know they're going to run Derrick Henry. We're just going to pound it. If you can stop it, great. Congratulations. We'll shake your hand after the game. But you know what's coming after what happened last week up in Green Bay.
you say that, and it does make sense. And anybody with more than 3 brain cells is right there with you. But we have watched this Raven team, this Raven coaching staff, just constantly shit in their own bed when it comes to running the football and knowing when to lean on Derek and when to lean on Lamar. And so you got to wonder if that's going to come into play. We've seen Harbaugh let the game get away from him so many times. Maybe it's the comfort factor of having an MVP caliber quarterback like Lamar Jackson, and he leans on him a little too much. And then before you know it, oh shit, Derrick Henry didn't play the entire fourth quarter. Like it's one of those things that you never know. Yeah, if they're smart at all, they will lean heavily on him until we prove that we can take him out of the game. And I'm not certain that we can do that.
And that's just it. I would assume that the Steelers, I mean, everybody and your grandmother knows that that's how the Ravens should approach this game, including the Steelers.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how does the Steelers defense execute? How do they do it? If we're able to, again, maintain or contain Derrick Henry, let him have his 100 yards, fine, whatever. But if we're able to contain him, let the defensive back do what they've been doing over the last couple of weeks as far as covering receivers. I mean, if that happens, I'm totally cool with it. Totally cool with it.
Yeah. And the on the good news front, anybody on the team that is not currently on IR, and Chipper, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive that I saw this yesterday. That anyone that's not on IR is a go. That includes TJ Watt, who says that he expects no restrictions.
Yep.
Brandon Eccles, James Pierre, like we have our full complement of defenders and offensive players back. Calvin Austin. So, yeah, no DK, no Darnell, which hurts immensely. But
yes,
we're going into this game as full strength as humanly possible right now.
Thank God we have Robin Wilson playing.
Yeah. So we got that going for it. Now, all that being said, we kind of talked about it before we went live. Chipper, what is your confidence level going into this game? Scale of 1 to 10?
Scale of 1 to 10, 3, maybe 4.
And that's higher than me. At best, I'm at a 1.5, 2. I look back at that first game and what Aaron was able to do. DK had a monster game. DK caught 7 balls for like 140 yards. Aaron threw for, I believe, 280. And the rest of the team had one catch. Like nobody had more than one catch in that game. DK did all of the damage. Main thing is, Ryan, you're gonna love to hear this. We got to not only be able to run the football, but we have to do it consistently. But we have to keep them off balance too. I'm not saying come out here and hand it off to those guys 35, 40 times if it's not there, but at least keep them honest. The most important thing for me offensively, aside from at least a balanced running game, is get the guys involved that you have. You don't have DK. Like second best receiver on the team is not named Calvin Austin. His name is fucking Pat Fryermuth.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's targeted anything less than 8 times today, we're losing. Like you have to get Fryermuth involved. Jonnu, fine, get him involved as well. Calvin Austin can beat man coverage, which Baltimore is going to lean heavy on. Get Gainwell out. We don't have to worry about a monster pass rush the way that we did last week. We know Baltimore is near the bottom of the league when it comes to sacks and pass rush generated. Their secondary, while improved from the first half of the season, still can be had.
Especially since they got Kyle Hamilton back.
Yeah. Aaron definitely needs to have a better game than he had last week. But again, I think the thought of not having to worry about Myles Garrett murdering you might set him at ease a little more. Maybe he'll be a little more comfortable in the pocket and find the open guys.
See, now, say what you want about last week. Say that the play calling, the offense was predicated on making sure that Myles Garrett didn't get that sack, or was the fact that the offensive play calling, the offensive scheme was just that bad? That is exactly why my confidence level, after seeing the abysmal play calling last week, the performance that the offense did last week, is why my confidence level is so low. I mean, when you're 4th and 1 in Cleveland's territory, and instead of doing a tush push or whatever the hell you want just to get a yard, they go long to Scotty freaking Miller. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, definitely horrible decision making at times from Aaron. And then just on top of it, the play calling in general. I don't, we kind of touched on this on Unscripted yesterday. I don't buy into the theory that they were game planning to not take a sack from Myles Garrett. I mean, you're always game planning to not get sacked when you're playing Myles Garrett, but I don't think that was their number one priority. But they definitely played super conservative, and a lot of it probably had to do with the fact that Cleveland's defense is so good. I mean, it's not just Myles Garrett. Cleveland has the number 2 defense in the league behind only Houston.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that problem with Baltimore.
What concerns me about this game for the Steelers is you won the running battle last week. You won the turnover battle last week, but you lost the game.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh was 3 of 15 on 3rd down. Cleveland was no better, but they were 0 for 3 on 4th down. They went for it on 4th down 3 separate times. So Cleveland's defense is great. Their offense blows. And you still lost the game. Now, the only thing I would say is Lamar Jackson, like Dee said, he's not going to be 100%. He's not going to have that explosiveness he has to take off. Again, if I were Pittsburgh, I'm stacking 8 in the box. And if Lamar beats this with his arm, congratulations. But Derrick Henry's not going to go off. I'm 8-9 in the box. I don't care. But they're not. You can't let Derrick Henry go off today.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Especially the way that I almost called him Mike Taylor. Joey Porter Jr. has played this year. Like he is a shutdown corner, and the statistics prove it. Like just name him fucking Porter Island because the man is balling out. And even though he was snubbed on the Pro Bowl, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not named to maybe not first team, but second or third team All Pro. He's been that good. And we're getting James Pierre back. We're getting Brandon Eccles back. So, yeah, line it up, stack the box. Don't, spy Lamar if you have to, but do not get beat by Derrick Henry. If Lamar can beat you with his arm, that's what has to happen.
And two points to add on to that, D's, is the fact that Joey Porter Jr., I think I saw a stat where it's over 1,000 passes since he's given up a touchdown.
Yeah. 0 this season so far.
Yeah. And then, with Eccles being back, that will help Jalen Ramsey do what he was brought in to do, be that safety and move all over the place.
Yeah.
And to your point, I mean, I would think maybe they would use him, if not Peyton Wilson as a spy on Lamar. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking linebackers that have the speed and the ability to do it, it's definitely him. I would prefer. I know it won't happen because I've watched Mike Tomlin coach football for a long time now. I would prefer Peyton Wilson to just not even come off the field and basically act as that spy, as opposed to bringing in Malik Harrison for the run stuffing. If you can't get it done without Malik Harrison, then hang it up. But you have to have somebody that's keeping an eye on that. And we already know that the defensive game plan isn't going to change when it comes to the ends. They're going to kind of play more of a contain, don't let him break contain kind of thing. Keep him inside that box, but you got to have somebody in the middle to clean up the mess if Lamar squirts out of there. Yeah. And speaking of the edges, we're both rocking it. This is the first time that I have actually, other than Christmas, with my Santa Steeler hat, this is the first time that I've put Steeler gear on in, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks, because that's how fucking done I was with this team. But in honor of the man coming back, you gotta think that he's coming back, a little bit pissed off that he's missed all his time, but B, he's got to feel pretty good. If the lung is good and he's truly no restrictions, no, gassed or anything like that, his body's got to feel pretty good. He's had a month off.
You would hope so, and you'd like to think so. And yeah, that's exactly why I'm wearing this one. Obviously it had to be the black home jersey since they're playing at home. So I was between this, my James Harrison, or my old school Troy Polamalu. But because he's coming back, that's why I decided to choose this one.
God damn! Did you copy my jersey collection?
I don't know. Did I?
I've got Harrison. My Harrison is a Color Rush, and then I've got a Polamalu Super Bowl, and then the older school I've got Big Ben, Hines Ward, Bettis, Jack Lambert.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot more jerseys than I do. I got like 4 black ones and maybe 3 or 4 white ones.
Yeah, those are just the ones that I haven't shit canned from players that moved on down the road. But
yeah. But yeah, I mean, to your point, he's been out a few weeks, and it's been noted that now you could say it because of him being double teamed and chipped or whatever all the time. You can have that argument, but if there's any game for him to actually show up and do something, well, this would be the game.
Yeah, and TJ's decent against the run. That's how I end any of these arguments about Miles or TJ. Look, I will concede that in their primes, Myles Garrett is probably the better pure pass rusher. But if you tell me I have to pick one of them to be the anchor of my defense, and that's going to be an every down type player, I'm taking TJ Watt 101 times out of 100, because TJ does more than just rush the passer. TJ can drop. TJ can stop the run. He forces fumbles. He's just a better all-around complete player when he's healthy. I don't think there's anybody that's going to argue the fact that, yes, TJ probably has lost a few split seconds off of his first step. But I'm still saying TJ is one of the top defensive players in the league when he's healthy.
I
don't think anybody will argue at that point that he's one of the top defensive players in the league. No. Ryan, you being an outsider, where do you come off on the Myles Garrett v. TJ Watt thing?
I think overall, when you have a do-it-all defensive player, I think TJ's got it over Myles.
Yeah.
Miles, great pass rusher. Always concerned about his sacks. As far as run stopping, he's okay, but that's not what he's paid to do. He's paid to
Agreed.
rush the quarterback and sack the quarterback.
Agreed.
TJ does it all. The only thing I will say is TJ has a propensity to get hurt a lot for whatever reason, whether it's him being double teamed, whether it's just freakish stuff. Miles always seems to stay healthy.
I almost think, without getting too doctory on everybody here, I almost think that might even be something within the genetics, because JJ kind of struggled with injuries throughout his career as well. When he's on the field, he's best in the world. But again, it's one of those things, look at Alex Highsmith. Alex Highsmith is an all-pro on a lot of teams, but he can't stay healthy. It's just one of those things. But yeah, if you tell me your defense is on the field, it's 3rd and 3, they could run, they could pass, you don't know. Which guy are you picking? I'm picking TJ.
Yeah.
Because he gives you the best opportunity regardless of what the play call is. If it's 1,000% a pass, probably going to go with Myles Garrett. But if it's, hey, could be anything, give me TJ every single time.
Yep, absolutely.
And in regards to the sack record, I don't remember if I threw this out in the unscripted chat or the Renegades chat, but I also did throw it out on Facebook yesterday.
Yeah,
yesterday
I saw
or
that.
day before. It took TJ only 15 games to get his sack record. Where now it's taking Miles. He hasn't even gotten it yet, but obviously it's going to take him 17 games to get it. So
yeah, but what they'll counter with, and I don't remember if it was Shane or Adam or whoever, is the pass rush opportunities. TJ had more. So the fuck what? TJ did it technically in 14 and a half games because he was credited for 15 starts, but the game that he got hurt, he went out really early.
Yep.
And I forget what Gastineau did it in. I'm trying to
16.
go way back in my Rolodex in my head. He did it in 16 games, I believe, correct?
Yeah, it was 16 with him.
Yeah. I mean,
same with Strahan.
I think between Steelers fans, Browns fans, and whoever else wants to have this argument, there's no right or wrong answer. Let's be honest. I mean,
this is Die Hard, a Christmas movie for football. Like, you got one half that says this. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's going to be arguments on both sides.
Yeah.
To me, the funniest fucking thing that I could ever possibly hope to see today is Cincinnati comes out and hands the ball off 50 times.
Yeah. And they may just do
that. How fucking funny would that be? They're traipsing Joe Flacco out there, and then just hand it to Chase Brown 50 times. Don't even throw the ball.
Is Flacco starting over Burrow today?
I thought I read that they were sitting Joe down, which I don't think Joe was probably happy. I could be wrong. It might have just been one of those random tweets as I was scrolling through that mentioned his name, but that's what makes today, like, picks wise, really difficult, because you don't know who's fucking playing. We never really had to worry about that. But anymore, teams aren't going to risk these, quote, franchise players in these meaningless games at the end of the season, because, as we know, a torn ACL or a torn Achilles, that literally could put you out for a good portion of next season.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up. How about the Raiders basically telling Trey Hendrickson, hey, you're not playing anymore? And come to find out, apparently he had a
Max Crosby.
Max Crosby.
Yeah.
He apparently had a knee injury for the last few weeks. It's like, well, the Raiders season was pretty much shit to begin with. So why did he even play as many games as? Okay, he may have wanted to just because he's a player and he must be out there with his dudes. But you're kind of running into like a Baker Mayfield situation where you have a chance of fucking up Max Crosby, your best player on the team, even more than what he already is. Kind of like what the Clowns did with Baker Mayfield a few years ago in the shoulder injury.
Yeah. Did you happen to see Max Crosby's response to that?
Didn't he put the video out? He was playing basketball.
Yeah. He posted an Instagram video of him basically doing all kinds of athletic shit, playing basketball, dunking it, and basically saying, "I'm fine. Like, I want to play." And they shut him down for the sole purpose of they did not want to win. That was the best the Giants have looked all year. And the Raiders, if there's ever been evidence of a team flat out tanking, that game was it. Like I think they probably had orders that, hey, if the game is close and you're going to score, you fucking trip and fall down. I don't think they wanted any part of winning that game.
Nope.
Well, that's interesting. I did not see or hear anything about him, posting a video or playing basketball. All that shit. That's funny.
It's out there. Yeah.
Yeah. What so what do you think, Chipper, as far as tonight's game? What does the primary offensive game plan need to be? I mean, obviously we know run the ball and blah blah blah, but like what do you need to see that could convince you that this team's going to have a chance?
Hopefully we're able to pound the rock and run the ball a lot more than what we did against the Clowns last week. I mean, last week I saw a stat from last week's game that we actually ran the ball pretty good. We averaged 5 yards a carry.
Yeah, Jalen was killing it.
Yeah, for some stupid reason we got away from the run. That was because of the play call, or is that because Aaron was seeing something that really wasn't there and changing the plays of the line? Who knows? But you're playing the Ravens, like you said, their defense isn't the best. So let's try running the ball. If it works, stay with it. And if you're gonna do the passing game, then you got to get not Jalen Warren, Kenny G more involved in the passing game out of the backfield. He's the MVP of the offense right now. I don't care what anybody says. Aaron Rodgers is a close second.
It's official. They voted. The team voted.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, he was the team MVP this year, and
Rodgers?
rightfully so. No, Kenny.
Kenny? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, get him the ball out of the backfield as much as you can. Like you said earlier, you got to feed Freiermuth. I mean, he's your second best receiver, other than you got what, Scotty Miller, Adam Thielen, MVS. I mean, really, that's so yeah. Pounding the rock, getting the ball to Kenny G and Freiermuth, and maybe a little dose of Thielen and or MVS here and there. Sure.
Yeah. Look, this is the last game of the season. Last week we heard Tomlin talking twice in press conferences, talked about how this was Roman Wilson's big opportunity. Like he got on the field for 9 snaps, all of which were running. So we have talked about this because of what I heard on DK Pittsburgh Sports about how he's not running the correct routes as far as his timing and everything, but he can still get open. Like, I don't know what has to be done. Like, if I'm Arthur Smith, I am putting Roman Wilson and Aaron Rodgers on the field after practice every day until they get some shit right, because Roman can get separation.
Well, that I was literally just going to bring that up since you brought up Roman Wilson and the timing thing. Is Roman Wilson not seeing the field because of Tomlin and Artie, or is he not seeing it because of Aaron Rodgers? Because you know how detail oriented A-Rod is when it comes to timing, running the right routes, and all this other stuff. So is it an A-Rod thing, or is it a Tomlin Artie Smith thing?
If I had to guess, I think it's probably a combination of the both, and I would probably lean a little bit more on the Aaron Rodgers like demand for perfection. We've seen it, we've seen Aaron and Pat kind of not really jawing back and forth at each other, but we've seen Aaron kind of get heated with Pat because Pat, like on a hot route or whatever, didn't break back to where he had to break, or find the sticks on a scramble drill kind of thing. So I think that there is a lot of Aaron being Aaron, and I'm not mad at that. I want my quarterback, to do it. But here we are, week 18, 17 games, and you're Roman Wilson and you haven't been able to figure it out yet. Like, to me, if they truly felt that way 2 or 3 weeks ago, whatever the case may be, cut bait. Go get Alan Lazard. At least Alan Lazard knows what Aaron wants, knows where to be, and he's going to be there. You can't tell me that Alan Lazard can't at least give you on the field what Roman Wilson can.
Sure.
And it's not an issue of money because we still have plenty of that. So that one kind of baffles me. Like, you got this guy, if he hasn't, I realize he's under contract for 2, maybe 3 more years, but at some point you got to cut bait. Like, if it ain't working, it ain't working.
And that's exactly why I was bringing up, whose fault is it that he's not seen the field? I mean, every broadcast, it's well documented how animated Aaron Rodgers gets if something doesn't go his way. It's
almost too much so. Like, look, I don't need to see Aaron's, pissed off face every time a play doesn't go bad. Like, we get it. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the shit that I have been preaching since Aaron Rodgers came into the fold. The media has such a hard on for this guy that they want him to look bad no matter what he's doing. Name one other quarterback that you've ever watched in the history of ever where every single time that he throws an incompletion or whatever, they focus on his face.
Eli, maybe.
Every single play, though.
Tom Brady.
I don't even buy that. Like, it seems like they just want to get that Aaron's pissed off look, because I think it drives their narrative that, oh, this guy's a diva, this guy's not a team player, when evidence to the contrary is all around. But to the average
he brings it up. He brings it on himself, though, Deez.
How?
He brings it on himself by comments.
What has he said or done that tells you that he's an asshole or a diva or a bad teammate? Like, there's literally no evidence that I've ever seen that makes me look at him and go, God, what a prick. Is he driven? Does he want to win? Is he probably a perfectionist? Yeah. But I guarantee you, Aaron Rodgers is no different than Tom Brady was. If you go and watch some NFL films of Tom Brady on the sideline, Tom Brady, like, wants to kill some players' children. It seems like he gets so mad. And I just don't see that with Aaron. And you never saw it with Aaron. And I'm not going political. This is the only thing I'm going to say about it. But you never, ever once saw that shit with Aaron Rodgers until when? 2020. 2020. COVID. The whole vaccination thing. That's when the media turned on Aaron Rodgers the way that they did. You'll never find anybody talking shit about Aaron Rodgers 2019 to whenever the hell he came in the league, 2006, 7. Like, not once. But once the COVID thing happened and the media started twisting shit, that's when Aaron started to get this bad reputation.
The one thing I would add to this whole Aaron attitude discussion is, now, when we all see press conferences from players and coaches or whatever, they more than likely give you the PC answers rather than telling you straight out.
Oh, for sure.
But if you watch Aaron's press conferences on Tuesdays or Wednesdays or even after the games, some of the answers he gives are like 1-2 word answers, and that's it.
Yeah.
So by him answering some of the questions and having the press conferences that he does, maybe why the media has him come off as such a dick or such a diva, instead of expanding on his answers. It's 2 or 3 word answers, and he looks away. Next question. Another 2 or 3 word answer. Next question. You know what I mean?
I think that's a cause and effect thing, though. I mean, he's made it abundantly clear he does not like the media, but I think a lot of that comes from the way the media villainized him over the whole vaccination bullshit. And so now it's just like, oh God, you can stick a microphone in my face. Not fine. It's just one of those things, and you can't win, either way you slice it. He's going to come across as a bad guy. But, when I hear of the other guys on the team coming out and saying, oh, yeah, he's such a pain in the ass, he's a bad teammate, then I'll worry about it. But when you got all of these guys talking about what a great leader he is in that locker room, and everybody, all these Ohio State Steeler fans that fondle Will Howard's balls, like, Will Howard has literally praised Aaron Rodgers for being so helpful to him. And as much as I fucking love Ben Roethlisberger, what is one thing that we heard about Ben Roethlisberger and young quarterbacks? Zero relationship.
Yep. That was one of the issues between him and Mason, right?
Yeah. And
Mhm.
Landry and anybody else that they brought in. Like, it just, so I guess I'll take Aaron looking like an asshole in front of the camera when I know that in that locker room, those guys respect the hell out of him. And he's one of the leaders that speaks to the team every Thursday.
Sure. And we talked about this at the beginning of the season. We talked about this a few weeks ago. I came right out and said at the beginning of the season that I didn't want him because of did he actually have it? No, probably not. And then also him being a diva, whatever. But you asked me a few weeks ago what you or Dave asked me a few weeks ago what my thoughts are now. I'm like, okay, I'll step it back and say it was a great move because he has performed above and beyond on the field to what I thought he was going to. And then
he's had some stinkers. I'm not going to sit here and blindly defend the guy. He's had some stinkers without a doubt.
Yeah.
I would welcome him back next year if they decide to go that direction, but damn it, get him a wide receiver too.
Right.
Like, literally every problem that Pittsburgh has had in the last 2 seasons can be traced back to the fact that we don't have another true playmaker on the other side of whether it's George Pickens or DK Metcalf. And unless they trip and fall into a quarterback in the first round that's named Mendoza, it has to be wide receiver in round 1.
Absolutely.
You move up even to go get Carnell Tate or to go get the kid from USC.
Yeah.
Lemon. Lemon.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah. One of those 2 guys, I don't care what the fuck you have to do. They need to be a Steeler. Get you a stud number 2 who could potentially be a number 1, because quite honestly, as much as I like DK Metcalf, I think DK Metcalf would flourish better as more of a 1B, as your deep guy, as your possession type guy. And then this other guy is your superstar that can do it all kind of thing.
So that's an interesting take.
I just do. Like, I think DK was better when Jackson Smith and Jigba started to come into his own, or when he had Tyler Lockett, even though Tyler Lockett wasn't looked at as, a superstar, he was consistent. Like, he was putting up numbers, and at the very least teams had to worry about who that other guy was. And that enabled DK to do a little bit more. Whereas right now, same problem we had last year with George Pickens. It's the number 1 guy, and then whoever else, whatever, which is, again, goes back to today. We have to make Baltimore respect Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, and I don't mean on fucking bubble screens and toss plays.
Sweeps.
Yeah, like get them out in space. Test that Ravens secondary, and don't let them bring 9 up in the box.
So let me pose this question to you guys, and then we'll touch on what your guys' thoughts, because you asked me about what I thought about the game coming up today, and then we'll go to what you guys think about the game tonight. Aaron Rodgers, does he come back or no? Brian?
He's done. I think he's done.
I think he's probably leaning that way, but I think a lot of it is going to stem from both the outcome tonight and the aftermath of tonight. And if we win, we go to the playoffs, we get DK back. It's anybody's AFC. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up anybody's ass and say, oh, we win this, we're going to the Super Bowl. No, but we have a chance. The AFC is wide open. If that defense can capture the magic that they've had in certain games, whether it was the Colts, the Lions game, if they can be that defense, Aaron gets DK back, the running game's working, Kenny G's doing his thing, we can beat any team in the AFC. Now, that's not to say that we're going to and that we're locked to get there. I'm just saying, on paper, with DK Metcalf on the field, Aaron Rodgers playing his best ball, we can get to the Super Bowl. Go ahead.
As of right now, if we win tonight, who do we play in the first round? Houston or who?
It's Houston right now, and I think that there's a path where it could be Houston, the Bills, or the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it just depends on, and none of those teams scare the shit out of me. To be honest, of those teams, one that I don't want to face is Buffalo. Their defense has been much, much improved over the last 5 weeks of the season, and it's Josh Allen and it's James Cook.
Mm-hmm.
So if of those
James
three,
Cook, James Cook run to the right. James Cook run to the right. James Cook run to the right.
To be, we didn't have Harm in that game though, if I'm not mistaken, or did we?
No, I don't think we did.
I hope we didn't, because if we did and they still did that, then that's bad. But yeah, but we can still beat them. But of those three, Buffalo's the one I would least like to face. Houston defensively is a nightmare, but offensively, they don't scare anybody. Like our defense, I think, can handle Houston, just like I think our defense can handle the Chargers. And the path is there. So I think a lot of that, how the season ends, is going to determine, because as we know, if they win this game, there is 0.0 chance that Mike Tomlin's going anywhere, which I think is going to be a precursor to whether or not Aaron comes back. I don't think if there's a coaching change, I think the chance of Aaron coming back is 0. I don't think that you're going to sell a new head coach on, okay, we want you to come coach this team, but here's 42 going on 43-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Now, granted, he can still play, but I wouldn't blame any new head coach walking in like, no, if you want me to start this brand new regime, then we're going to start a new regime, and Aaron can go wherever he's going to go.
But would Aaron want to do that? Come back up to play for a brand new head coach for?
I doubt it. That's
one
what
more
I'm
year.
saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think
No.
either one would want that scenario. I think the new coach wouldn't want Aaron, and I don't think Aaron would want to go through this. I do believe Aaron that truly loves and respects Mike Tomlin, so I don't think that he would be enticed to come back if they shit can Tomlin. Now, piggybacking off of that, tonight's game,
yep,
kind of a win-win, because if we go out there,
yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we win, hey, fuck you, Baltimore. We ended your season, sent you to Cancun. We're going to the playoffs, even though we know we're probably going to lose in the first round, but at least we have a puncher's chance. All right. So we at least get the bragging rights of ending Baltimore's season. As miserable as wild card weekend will be after we lose, we can rest on the fact that we ended your season. But if we go out there tonight,
so you're already saying there's 0 chance that we win a wild card game?
No, but not 0. But look, I mean,
0.1.
Yeah. I can tell by the shit that you're wearing. You've seen this episode before.
So go ahead. You say it was a win-win. If we win, we take Baltimore out. What's the other win?
So the other side of the coin, we come out there, and what happens that a lot of us are probably expecting to happen, we get embarrassed. The crowd is going to turn early. If they come out and Derrick Henry has a $140 at halftime, or something like that, that crowd is, I mean, it's going to be ugly.
The chance be started back up again?
Oh yeah, 100%. If we get down more than 2 scores, and when I say 2 scores, I mean 9 points or more, the very first shitty looking 3 and out, you're going to see it. And by the 3rd or 4th quarter, when they try and do fucking Renegade, that place is probably going to riot and set the whole fucking stadium on fire. And I don't see how you're Rooney, and you can watch that. If that's the way it goes down, you could watch that and not in the back of your mind think of the fact that, okay, if I don't fire this guy or work out a trade or mutually part ways, whatever the case has to be, what's going to happen in our home opener next year, whether it's Aaron or, Will, Mason, whatever fucking retread that they scrape off the pile comes in here as our quarterback, and we go 3 and out the first 2 or 3 series, and they're, week 1, they're chanting that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want that. So I think a
Mhm.
decision has to be made if we lose this game. It has to be it.
You were talking about Renegade. I actually heard one of the Pittsburgh talk show hosts say the other day that they get down to 2 scores like you said they do, and they look as bad as that they could. Not only will you hear the chants, but the guy told was basically saying, "Please, for the love of God, do not play Renegade."
I got to imagine that that'll be like a standing order. Like, if the game's not close, don't even try it, because all that's going to do is piss the crowd off. And look, I've been to Pittsburgh to witness Renegade a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And for my money, I've been to a lot of other stadiums and a lot of, not only the NFL, but a lot of sporting events. There is no better moment in a live sporting event than when that screen goes black in a good game. Like, nothing gets you more hyped. And it's bad because it became such a staple and such
Yep.
a popular thing now that it's not what it once was. It once was, hey, this is in case of emergency, break glass. Like, we need a fucking stop. We're going to do it. But now it's every game, no matter what. And I think, tourists be damned. That's the risk you take. Just like you risk traveling across the country to see your beloved Steelers play and get their ass beat. You risk coming to Steeler game and, hey, we don't need Renegades, so we're not going to play it. Sorry. There's plenty of videos on YouTube that you can watch, or come back at another time. It should not be an every game, no matter what scenario. It should be we got to have this stop because it's a 1-score game, whether we're ahead by 1 score or down by 1 score, our defense needs it because it's become watered down.
I would tend to agree with that. Yeah. The very first time I saw it was it Ben's last game. I think it was the very first Pittsburgh game that I went to, and they did that. I was so excited. It's so stoked when he's, like you said, the screen went black and oh mama, and oh my, I was so excited. But to your point, them doing it every game, no matter what, down by 21, down by 21, up by 21. It doesn't really need to be played other than it's the thing to do.
Yeah.
But it's kind of run its course, gotten watered down.
The last Steeler game I went to was against Baltimore, and it's literally on my very YouTube channel. I got a whole video of the Renegade moment. It was Kenny Pickett to George Pickens to win the game at the end. Porter had a pick in the end zone that basically gave us a chance, and it was after Renegade that happened.
They lose today, they may as well play Pink Pony Club, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be the Pink Pony Club if they lose today.
So, all right. So, guys, we're coming up to the end of it, right? We're like 10 minutes or so left.
Yep. We're going to go with some picks.
We can go with our predictions for today's game, or we're going to wait till the end of picks?
We'll do that at the end. We'll go, even though it's going to be a little difficult because who the fuck knows who's playing for who.
Right.
I was a little surprised, I'll just say, at how bad the Niners looked against Seattle. I would not have picked that. I would have taken San Francisco all day. But kicking it off in a game that has massive playoff implications, even though neither one of these teams can make it, the Saints at the Falcons. And the way this works is if the Saints win, the Buccaneers win the division, go to the playoffs. If the Falcons win, the Carolina Panthers win the division and go to the playoffs. Far as I know, there are no major injuries or holdouts for this particular game. That being said, I'm going to go with the Saints getting the win here because I think they're on a roll.
Who would have thought that after what happened, what Panthers went through last year with starting Bryce Young, benching him for a few games, coming back, that he would even have that Panthers would even be in playoff contention, let alone win the division this year.
Agreed.
And is this at New Orleans?
Atlanta.
I'm gonna go Atlanta, just so they can screw over the Bucks
That would be funny.
and Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. Still no Ryan. All right. Moving on. Game that has 0 playoff implications, but does have a NFL record at stake. And that is, real quick, Saints or Falcons, Rye?
Falcons.
Falcons. All right. So yeah, NFL record on the line. Cleveland Browns traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. I think Joe Flacco may be starting, but I'm not 100% sure. It's just something I saw on Twitter, but yeah. To me, the loser of this game is anybody who has to watch it.
Correct. Shit. God. Cincinnati, because it's at Cincinnati. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm going to take Cincinnati. Even if Flacco starts, I think Flacco is going to get rid of the ball quicker, and he's still got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Chase Brown. So I'm going to go with the Bengals there, and I'm going to say he does not get the record.
Wow.
I'm going Cincinnati, and Miles gets the record today.
Packers travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Packers, are not starting Jordan Love. They are starting what's
Malik
his name?
Malik Willis.
No, the other dude. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive they announced Tune is starting.
Really?
Yeah.
Is his first name Carr?
I think it's Clint or Clinton.
Okay. Well,
maybe I don't. But I could be wrong. But again back to the Flacco thing. I'm almost positive I heard that he was going to start, which I don't understand why, unless they. The only thing are they trying to
Packers have nothing to play for.
Yeah. Yeah, I get why they wouldn't start Jordan Love, but why wouldn't you start Willis unless you want to keep his potential free agent value down and bring him back as your backup? Even though I don't think that's going to happen, I think that he put enough on tape that somebody's going to pay him.
Another Justin Fields situation.
Or they stick with Willis going into the playoffs.
That could be too. That definitely could be too. Real quick, my pick. I'm going to take the Packers. Nah. Yeah, fuck it. Give me the Packers. Chipper.
I'll take the Vikings because the Vikings defense, that Brian Flores defense, has been pretty stout the last few weeks. And if in fact the Packers are actually starting their third or fourth string quarterback, I don't see the Packers winning. So I'll take the Vikings.
And real quick before we move on, Chipper, if you can get a friendly-ish deal, do you take a swing at Malik?
Well, didn't Tomlin want him? It was between him and Pickett in that draft.
Everybody who could put their face in front of a microphone was saying that Pittsburgh Steelers are 100% taking Malik Willis.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that. Everybody was floored when we took Pickett.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think there's enough tape. When he was down in Tennessee, he didn't play worth a damn. Although Tennessee, has been a shit show for a few years. So no, I'm good. I let him go.
I got the Vikings.
Vikings. Cowboys Giants in New York.
I'm going upset. I got the G-men.
Wow.
Huh. I'll take the Cowboys.
I'm going to take the Cowboys. I don't think that even if they lose, I don't think the Giants can reclaim the number one. So I don't think they have really anything to gain. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys. Titans, Jaguars. Jaguars are still within reach. They could be the 1. They could be the 2, the 3, or the 5. Or no, they can't be the 5. They could be the 1, 2, or 3.
I I got Texans.
You mean Titans?
I mean, sorry, Jags.
Jags. Okay.
I got the Jags.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jaguars.
Jags here as well.
Yeah, Tennessee's too much of a mess.
Speaking of the Texans, they are hosting the Colts.
Texans.
Riley
Yeah, I'm
Leonard.
gonna go to.
Riley Leonard is your starting quarterback there.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm going to go with the Texans.
Why not let Phillip Rivers finish the season out?
Probably because the Texans defense is just brutal and feels like, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm good. I've got my 5 more years of insurance. Let me just.
Got my 10 kids I got to provide for.
Yeah.
So.
Did you hear he could be a possible head coaching candidate next year?
Ugh. That'd be a
I'm
big
not
mistake.
surprised. I don't know. I think Phillip Rivers has a pretty good mind. I mean, he's been coaching high school, but yeah, that's high school. I think I would like to see him more of a coordinator before I throw him into a head coaching role.
Yeah, but that goes against everything that you said yesterday in regards to college coaches going from college to NFL. Now you're talking Phillip Rivers going from high school head coach to NFL.
Coordinator.
Well, I understand, but the fact that he said he could be a head coach.
Yeah, no, that's
somewhere.
exactly. No, there's no way that I would give him a head coaching job without at least a couple years in some kind of coordinator role. But I think he could do it. I think he's got a brilliant football mind, and I think that within the next 5 years, we could see him as an NFL head coach. I would not be at all surprised. All right, moving on. We have the Jets and the Bills. Bills could potentially move up to the 5 seed, depending on what happens here. So they actually have a little bit to play for. It's the Jets. The Jets are the Jets, and I don't see any reason why they might win this game.
Yeah. Bills all the way.
Yeah.
Bills.
Lions and the Bears. Bears really don't think that they can improve too much. They might be able to shuffle to the 2 seed at best, but the Lions are probably going to come in a little pissed off. I'm going to go Lions here. Yeah, it's in Chicago.
I just don't like what I'm seeing out of Detroit. I'm going Chicago.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chicago too because Detroit's defense, man, is just so injury plagued. God,
Yeah,
Lord.
the Lions did beat the Bears this year already, didn't they? If I'm not mistaken.
I think so,
yeah.
Yeah, let me flip that. I'm going to take the Bears, but I won't be at all surprised if the Lions win it. I think Dan Campbell wants to go out on a high note considering what happened. So we'll
Detroit
see.
just lost Anzalone too for today's game. So, man, that defense.
Yeah, they're in bad shape. Chargers, Broncos, I believe, need to either win or have the Patriots lose to clinch the 1 seed. So they do have something to play for. The Chargers, again, in flux with whether they're the 6 or the 7. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I'm still on this. The Broncos are not.
You just won't get on that train, will you?
I'm telling you, they're a fucking fraud. Defense is legit. Defense is legit.
Even though Bo Nix over the last couple of weeks has put up some pretty darn good numbers.
They have 11 games that are 1-score games. They're winning them. Give them credit. They're winning them. But the song changes when you get to the playoffs.
I'm going Broncos.
I mean, the Patriots and Broncos, both those games are at 425.
Yeah.
So it's not like.
Did he stop talking?
God. I don't know. Here we go. I'm having probably server issues here. Both those games are going to be going on at the same time. The Patriots game and the Broncos game. Mm-hmm. So everybody's going to start everybody. Look, the Chargers. Yeah, they're 11-5, but it's sort of an iffy 11-5. You don't know what team you're going to get. I'll go with the Broncos at home. especially if there's a little bit of weather.
All right. I'm the lone wolf going with the Chargers there. Then we got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the the LV Raiders. Raiders pretty much locked up the number 1 pick, so they got nothing to play for. Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken, are going to be still starting Olakodun. Is that correct?
Think so, yeah.
He's shown a flash or two here and there. I mean, it is what it is. He's a 3rd-string quarterback. But the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken, are going to trot Kenny Pickett out there.
Oh, shit. If that's the case, I'm taking the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm still going.
I'm just going to take. I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm still going Chiefs. Those two teams still. I don't care who's playing. It's still one of the more heated rivalries, and I'm sure there's nothing Andy Reid wants more than to end the season on a high note.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have the Cardinals taking on the Rams. Again, the only thing Rams could potentially be playing for is maybe a better seed. Taking on the Cardinals.
I'm taking the Rams all the way.
Yeah, Rams are going to want to keep it going, get hot going into the playoffs. So taking the Rams. Dolphins, Patriots. Again, potential 1 seed on the line, depending on what happens in the other game. But yeah,
and Mike McDaniel's last game for Miami.
Very,
you
very.
You would hope. You would hope.
Yeah.
Who could be the Steelers' new OC?
I'm going to go with the Patriots. Then we have the Washington Commanders, Philadelphia Eagles. Again, I don't believe really anything can come out of this as far as seeding goes.
It's not true. If the Bears lose today and the Eagles win, I believe the Eagles get the
that is correct.
But supposedly the Eagles are going to rest some of their starters. So
Eagles.
Yeah, I'm still going to take the Eagles. I think their defense is still legit.
Yeah.
Washington, yep, I'm not sure who their quarterback's going to be. Jaden's still out, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
It's going to be Billy Kilmer.
And then the heartbreaking conclusion to the NFL regular season. And it could be the heartbreaking conclusion in more ways than one for some of us. Baltimore Ravens travel to Pittsburgh, to Heinz Field, fuck you, Acrisure, to take on our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Winner take all, AFC North title on the line, home playoff game on the line. Mike Tomlin's job, actually, both of their jobs potentially on the line. Like, this is the most high stakes regular season game that we've seen in a very, very long time. Non-Steeler fan, we'll go to you first. What do you got?
I'd like to take the Steelers, but I can't. Baltimore, Derrick Henry is going to get 35 carries today. I'm going to go with the Ravens in a close one.
Score?
I'm going to go Ravens 24, Steelers 20.
God damn, we're going to score 20? Holy shit.
Damn.
Chipper?
We've been saying it pretty much all week that, Derrick Henry's going to probably run all over us again. When I'm being his birthday, he's run all over us on the previous 2 games on his birthday. The way our offense has looked the last couple of weeks doesn't have me very, very positive right now. I'm going to go. God, I really want to take the Steelers in the upset, thinking that they're going to actually pull it out their ass, and A-Rod's going to have a game of his season. Tomlin and Artie will get their heads out of their asses and call a good game and use Freiermuth and Kenny G like they're supposed to. You know what? I will. I'm taking Steelers. 24-17.
All right. In your scenario where fantasies come true and they coach an amazing game, the sad part of that is I could totally see that happening, but the flip of the coin is going to be the following week when our hopes are all high. We're going to
Correct.
see like a Cleveland game plan. But
Well,
all right.
you were talking earlier in the show about same story, same record, or whatever, same movie over and over. Well, it'll be the same thing. We'll make the playoffs, and it'll still be the same movie. We'll lose the playoff game.
Yeah. All right. I don't see it. I just don't. I do think we're going to do better against Derrick Henry than some of the talking heads will give us credit for. I think we're going to kind of contain him, but I don't think we're going to have enough offensive firepower throughout the game, whether it be that we just don't have it or that it's not utilized the way that it should be. And I think we're going to end up falling. I'm going to go Baltimore 19, Pittsburgh 13. And I hope that it's uglier than that early, and we all get the change that we so desperately want and need, so that this franchise can move forward. So it's going to be a somber fucking show next week.
See, I thought when you talked earlier about the win-win thing is, okay, if we win, we knock Baltimore out and we make the playoffs. If we lose, the win part of that is Tomlin's probably out of here.
Yeah. And that's why if we lose, I would almost rather us just get annihilated, because I want to leave no doubt. I don't want us to be a blown flag or officiating call to where, Tomlin would have won that game if, he would have thrown the flag that he should have thrown. No, I want no doubt left on the field that we were just not a good football team. I want the fans to express that. And if we win, like I said, all bets are off. Anything could happen. We could go into the wild card and win by 3 touchdowns, or we could get absolutely fucking dog walked, which is probably the more likely of the 2 scenarios. But there we have it. All right, Ryan,
boys.
Chipper, appreciate you guys joining us. We will probably be next week, whether we're in it or not. I'm sure we'll jump on here next week and preview the playoffs and drown our sorrows in some outlaw light, maybe.
There you go. Proud sponsor of Red Line Radio.
There you go. Dave, you owe me money for that. Speaking of Dave, I guess I don't know if I even mentioned it on the show. For those of you that don't know, our fearless leader, Dynamite Dave, is actually traveling to Pittsburgh tonight to watch the game. Godspeed, sir.
He'll be bringing back some Premier Brothers sandwiches for us.
Yeah, washing it down with Starbucks. All right, guys. For Ryan, for Chipper, I'm Deez. Thanks for joining us. We will catch you all next week. Take care.
See ya.
Have a good one.